welcome to another edition of Wrestle Talk with Jimbo. Tonight we're going to be covering the February 9th episode of Raw. Now, as always, my show may contain spoilers. If you don't want spoiled, don't watch my shit. Now, first of all, Raw had 6 matches tonight, but before we get into that, I did not order the TNA pay-per-view, which I probably wasn't going to do to begin with. But I did read a review. I know what happened, and for the most part, it sounded like it was a terrible pay-per-view. But what can you really expect with TNA? I do want to touch on the main event Mafia here for a second, though. You know, if I was doing things with this main event Mafia, Kurt Angle would not be involved at all. I mean, it's cool that he's in there, sure, but he needs to be the one that gets kicked out. Why? Because he doesn't fit in with the others. We got Sting, Booker T, Scott Steiner, Kevin Nash. They all got their start in WCW. I know, there's somebody out there saying, well, Kevin Nash was Diesel in the WWE. Yeah, but he started in WCW as Vinny Vegas when he made it to the big leagues. And, you know, not too many people are going to remember that. Anyway, Kurt Angle really doesn't belong, and they need to kick him out for that exact reason. It makes more sense to do it that way. Anyway, before I get into Raw, also, I want to make a note about the Jericho incident. If you haven't heard this, during a house show over the weekend, Jericho was trying to leave the arena when his car was swarmed by a mob of fans. He got out, told them all, you know, get the hell out of my way. And one fan started talking trash to him and got in Jericho's face, and Jericho shoved him. Said fan's girlfriend decided to spit on Jericho and jump on Jericho's back. Jericho threw her off, spit on her, and punched her in the face. And I think that's hilarious. Jericho's not at fault here, because, listen people, I know you're a wrestling fan, but he has a job to do. His job is to entertain you, not to give you autographs. He's supposed to go out there in the ring and do what he does, put his body on the line. He's not supposed to sign autographs whenever you want. He needs to get to where he was going. They've got a hectic schedule and they can't always just stop and sign autographs whenever you feel like. Mobbing his car, that's the wrong thing to do. And we'll get into Raw. Let's start it out with Ric Flair calling out Jericho and all that. Ric Flair, the fans may love you, but most people inside the business, other than Triple H who loves you and Shawn Michaels who loves you, everybody else knows who you really are. You're two-faced. I mean, when you were running things in WCW, you were terrible. You were turning down talent that you could have easily used. You were just doing things like most people in WCW, just to get ahead by themselves. And that's not how things need to be done. And this is a note for you too, Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair. All you old guys need to start letting the young guys get their chances. Because, sure, those young guys have to thank you for having wrestling still going right now, but without those new guys, there is no wrestling anymore. It's only a matter of time before we forget about all of you guys. You got it? Now, they've been advertising this year's WrestleMania as the 25th anniversary, but it's really not. It's WrestleMania 25. WrestleMania 26 will be the 25th anniversary. You don't celebrate your wedding anniversary the day of your wedding. You celebrate it 1 year afterwards. So why celebrate the 25th anniversary of WrestleMania during the 25th one? It doesn't work like that. The first WrestleMania is not the first anniversary of WrestleMania. Now, the only other thing that I'm really going to mention on Raw is we had the women's tag team match, Beth Phoenix and Jillian Hall against Melina and Kelly Kelly. Once again, Santino was out there and didn't provide any comedy, and that really sucks because we need more Santino. But here's my beef with this match. You spent weeks and weeks building up Rosa Mendez, and then you're not even having her in the match. She's just there, hanging around outside. You got Beth Phoenix teaming up with Jillian Hall for no reason. It's pointless. You're spending all this money investing in Rosa Mendez, and you're not even correctly using her. It doesn't make make much sense at all. It's confusing for the fans that are just casually watching. And as Raw went off the air, we had Shane McMahon come back and attack Randy Orton. Like I said before, Randy Orton is the top heel. The character is far better than feuding with Shane McMahon. It's pointless. You're doing things wrong. Anyway, we got No Way Out coming up this weekend, and I'll be sure to give a review of that. As for Raw, it's getting a 3. Why? Doesn't really deserve a 3, but just like SmackDown, we're doing it for John Morrison's coat. That's all I gotta say. I'm out.